They said it was impossible, that no one could control the darkness at the edge of the universe. But I met the human who did, a lone physicist standing against powers that would use her discovery to destroy worlds. This is her story, the story of the human who tamed a black hole and the choice that changed everything. In the endless cold void of deep space, far beyond the reach of Earth's warmth, Dr. Lira Voss worked alone. Her laboratory, a fragile sanctuary of metal and glass, floated silently among the stars, a lone beacon of humanity's curiosity and defiance against the darkness. Outside, the cosmos stretched endlessly, black and indifferent, speckled with distant suns that had long forgotten Earth's name. Inside, the air was thick with tension and unspoken hope. Years of tireless research, countless nights wrestling with equations and instruments that threatened to tear apart under the strain of impossible forces, all had led to this moment. Before her eyes hovered a tiny sphere, darker than night itself. It was no bigger than a marble, yet contained a weight that could collapse entire worlds. This was the micro black hole she had created, a swirling abyss trapped within an invisible cage of light and energy. The room pulsed with soft, electric light as she monitored the containment fields, her fingers flying over controls with precision born of obsession. The black hole responded, rippling like a living thing, alive, powerful, terrifying. Lyra's breath caught as she reached out, her hand steady but her heart pounding. Her fingertips hovered mere centimeters from the event horizon, the edge of no return, the boundary where gravity's grip was absolute and escape impossible. Not just destruction, she whispered to herself, voice trembling with awe and fear, but power, energy beyond anything we've ever known, the key to the future. As her skin brushed the invisible threshold, a shock wave of raw cosmic force surged through her, a silent reminder that she held the edge of oblivion in her palm. And yet, in that instant, the darkness was no longer just a void. It was a new beginning. But while she marveled at her success, far beyond her isolated lab, eyes that had long watched the galaxy stirred. Powers ancient and vast sensed the ripple of this discovery, and not all would welcome it. Somewhere in the shadowed corridors of distant starships, a decision was made, a choice that would threaten everything Lira fought to protect. The stage was set. The game had begun. Days passed in uneasy silence. Then the message came, a transmission unlike any Lira had seen before. Cold, formal, and unyielding. The Galactic Consortium, an ancient alliance of civilizations with power spanning star systems, had taken notice. Their message was clear. You are instructed to surrender your research immediately. The technology you possess threatens the balance of the galaxy. No room for negotiation, no offer of compromise. Lyra's fingers hovered over the console, heart racing as she read and reread the demand. The weight of 1,000 eyes pressed down on her, judgment not just of one mind, but of entire worlds. She knew what they wanted: control over her creation, to bend it to their will. And she knew the truth beneath their words: fear. Fear of power they could not wield, of chaos that might unravel their carefully ordered dominion. It was then that Kalen appeared, an emissary from the consortium, but unlike any she expected. His skin shimmered like stardust, shifting hues reflecting the nebulae of his homeworld. His voice was calm, almost gentle. "Dr. Voss," he said, "we do not wish to be your enemies. Join us, and together we can ensure this power protects, not destroys." But Lyra's eyes narrowed. She had spent a lifetime trusting no one, especially not those who cloaked ambition in diplomacy. "This power belongs to no one," she answered, "especially not to those who would use it as a weapon." Kalen's gaze lingered on her, unreadable but heavy with meaning. "Then you choose to face the consequences alone." As he vanished into the shadows of the starship, Lyra felt the cold truth settle inside her. Her discovery had become a beacon, drawing in forces far beyond her control. And the war for the black hole had only just begun. Trust was a fragile thing, and in the vast halls of the space station, where Lyra had briefly sought refuge, it shattered like glass. Her closest colleague, once a friend, someone she had shared dreams and fears with, had turned his back. In the dead of night, under flickering lights, he stole her research. Data drives containing the secrets of the black hole vanished into the hands of a rival faction hungry for power. When Lyra discovered the betrayal, the silence broke into chaos. Sirens blared, security forces locked down the station. She was marked, a target to be captured, silenced, or worse. Heart pounding, breath ragged, Lyra ran. Through winding corridors and shadowed maintenance shafts, she fled from enemies she once called allies. Every corner held danger, every step could be her last. As she darted past a viewport, she caught a glimpse of the stars beyond, cold and indifferent witnesses to her desperate flight. Memories flashed unbidden of the life she had left behind: the exile from Earth, the loss of family, the loneliness of brilliance. And now, hunted not just by political forces, but by those closest to her, the black hole she had tamed was no longer just a scientific marvel. It was the prize in a deadly game, and Lyra vowed she would not let it fall into the wrong hands. Hidden away in a remote outpost, far from prying eyes and the chaos of the galaxy, Lyra faced her greatest torment. The micro black hole pulsed quietly in its containment field, a living paradox, destruction and creation intertwined. In the silence, she wrestled with a question heavier than any cosmic force: what should be done with such power? To destroy it would be to erase years of discovery and perhaps condemn the galaxy to stagnation and decay. To keep it meant risking unimaginable catastrophe if that power ever slipped beyond her control. Alone, she gazed into the swirling abyss, watching colors and light twist in impossible ways. Suddenly, visions bloomed, shimmering glimpses of futures yet unwritten. Endless possibilities, worlds flourishing with clean energy and safe travel, or civilizations torn apart by war and greed. The black hole seemed to whisper, a siren song of potential and peril. Lyra's mind raced. Can humanity handle this? She wondered aloud. Are we worthy of such power, or destined to destroy ourselves with it? The weight of responsibility pressed down on her chest like a star collapsing into a singularity. And in that crushing silence, she understood that the choice was no longer hers alone. It belonged to everyone who would inherit the future. After days of solitude and reflection, the silence was broken once more by Kalen's return. But this time he came not as a demand, but as an offering, an alliance born from understanding rather than power. His presence was calm, his voice steady, carrying a weight of centuries and a glimmer of hope. Dr. Voss, he said softly, I have seen the choices you wrestle with, the burden of holding a power so great it could remake or destroy entire worlds. He stepped closer, eyes reflecting the distant stars. We can protect this knowledge together. The consortium is not just a coalition of control, but of guardianship. If you allow it, I will stand by your side, ensuring that this discovery serves life, not death. Lyra studied him carefully, the flicker of doubt and hope warring within her. I will agree, she said finally, but only if I retain control, transparency. If this power is to be shared, it must be done openly, with respect and accountability. Kalen nodded, a faint smile breaking through his stoic facade. Agreed. Together, we send a message. A message to the galaxy, a warning and a beacon, a declaration that such power demands responsibility. That knowledge must be guarded with wisdom, and that the future is fragile, yet still within reach. As they transmitted the signal, Lyra felt a renewed strength, a purpose beyond fear or ambition. She had chosen not just to survive, but to lead, to face the storm with eyes open and heart resolute. And somewhere deep inside, the black hole pulsed once more, no longer a threat lurking in shadows, but a symbol of hope tethered to the courage of one human's choice. Years had passed since Dr. Lira Voss made her fateful choice, a choice that rippled across the galaxy like the gentle waves of a cosmic tide. The technology she pioneered had transformed the course of history. What was once a terrifying force of destruction became the foundation for a new era, an era of safe cosmic travel, clean energy, and exploration that spanned light years with ease. Planets once deemed unreachable were now within humanity's grasp, linked by the delicate threads of the technology born from that tiny black hole she had tamed. Yet, despite the glory and progress, Lyra remained humble, a guardian rather than a conqueror. She often stood alone beneath alien skies, stars unfamiliar yet bright with promise, gazing upward with a quiet sense of peace and purpose. In those moments, she reflected on the cost of her journey, the betrayals, the fear, the loneliness.